What's going on YouTube? Fuzzy Wuzzy, hanging out with my Lincoln. Got it out of the bubble. Got the drive shaft situation hopefully sorted. If you remember last fall, I did a video because this thing was shaking at highway speeds and I determined it was the drive shaft because I threw a stock drive shaft in there and it didn't shake. So I finally got around to fixing it now that now it's time to ride again. It's getting warm. So this is what I found. This is what I found out about slip yokes. That is the drive shaft that was in the car. The stock drive shaft I had in it, I had to cut that up and put a slip in that, and here's why. If you look at a lowrider slip yoke, like from Black Magic, you'll see the blue part right here, and it's sitting down here. What the drive shaft shop explained to me is that's well out of Dana's running specs. It's supposed to be up in here. The reason they sell them like that to the lowrider guys is because it offers way more travel. You know, you get a lot more slip out of it. But that's why it shakes, because it's right there. It's only got, you know, an inch or two in the spline, so it wobbles around. So, what I had to have them do is cut the drive shaft 2 inches longer, and then I just moved it up. And we were able to reuse all my old shit. This is still the Black Magic stub, slip, and spring. They just cut it out of the old drive shaft and put it in here. Now, how they got it to stay up like this instead of being down here is we just rotated it 180 degrees. So that way the U-joints are still in line. Like that U-joint's looking at that way. That U-joint's looking the same way. Looking at these here. This has to be in line with that end. And they are. We just rotated it 180 degrees. And we had to rotate it because when this thing's sitting out here like this, the splines in there, what they do is they machine one of the splines down to about here. And that set screw that's underneath that spring, that's what stops the slip from coming off. Is it sits on top of that machined off spline. So we just rotated it 180 degrees, and now it's sitting on top of the splines within Dana's running specs for this size of slip yoke. Now, the people, the shop, we talked for a while about this. This series of slip of yoke and stub and shit, the size of it, this is the longest you could get. So this is the maximum travel you can get for this size of tube. Now, if I wanted to step up to a bigger tube, we can get longer parts so that I could have that much stroke. But I opted against that because I don't think I can fit a bigger tube in there. When the car is laid out with the cross members and all the shit in the way, I really didn't want to deal with that. So I stayed with the same size tube. I just cut my travel in half, which is okay with me. That car is at full lockup right now. It's really not that radical. Not yet, anyway. When this car is at full lockup, I can't get this drive shaft out. It is tied up against the transmission. And I know that because I pulled the stock drive shaft out of it sitting on the ground. So, I really don't need all 4 inches of slip that it comes with when you get it from like Black Magic, which is where I got this one from. What's left after they put it within its running, what's left after they put it within its safe running limit is there's the end of it there and there's the stop of it there. I got about 2 inches compared to 4. So I got 2 inches of slip, and I should be able to drive on the highway without it vibrating all the shit. Since I know the axle isn't really going to move any more forward since I'm already at full lockup, it might move a little bit when I'm three-wheeling. It might shove it up a little, but it ain't going to be more than 2 inches because of the chains and all that, you know, jazz I got going on there. So this was acceptable to me. When I go to put telescoping cylinders in the back, we'll go from there. But right now, this is the vibration problem, and this should fix it. I would really like to pull that set screw out and take that joint apart so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with slip yokes or never seen one, but it's balanced. I don't want to fuck it up, and I don't know how I would hold that spring back and get it back together easily. I'm sure there's a way, but I ain't trying to fuck it up. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's get this bitch in the car, take it for a cruise, and see if it actually worked. When it was sitting all winter, the battery tender I had on it took a shit at some point because the battery under the hood was dead as fuck. One of the batteries in the trunk was at 10 volts. Hopefully everything's cool. I got 2 chargers going on it now. So let me throw this in there and rock on. We'll see. Alrighty, hitting the highway. 70 mile an hour. I'm starting to get a little vibration, but Jesus, I can let my foot off the gas. The car doesn't sound like it's going to come apart. Light years better than what it was. This car is 100% drivable on the freeway. I finally figured it out, that damn slip yoke. So I'm back home. Let's take a look at that slip yoke. I got it up on 3 wheels. See how much that slip yoke moved, if you can see it. I'm not trying to stick my whole damn body underneath this car. I don't trust the hydraulics that much. So I still got, that thing barely moved. I still got a good, dude, I'm gonna say the whole 2 inch. It did not move much. I got between 1.5 inches and the 2 inches I had left. So that's cool, man. That's something else I gotta do. I gotta get longer brake lines made. That shit is like a guitar string. But anyway, it's not about that. It's about that drive shaft. Took it on the highway, got it up to about 75. Dude, it barely shakes, a little vibration. That's the problem. If you guys are having problems with your slip yoke shaking, that's it. Get this shit done if you can. If you can afford the loss of travel like I can, dude, do it. The fucking thing drives like a new car. Alright? Thanks. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Peace.